Hey, y'all. I am back with part two of When Lightning Comes in a Jar by Patricia Polacco. Part two. So, when we left off in part one, the question that I asked was, what do you think is going to happen next in the story? Grandma just told her story at the family reunion. The little girl has asked, is it time for the lightning in a jar? And Grandma said, have the last rays of sun left the grass? And the little girl said, yes. Grandma said, sit down, child. So, what do you think is going to happen next in the story? And that's where we left off. So, let's keep on reading. Aunt Bertha brought a wicker laundry basket full of glass canning jars and set them at Grandma's feet. Many years ago, when your aunties and uncles and I were but children, our grandpa showed us what I am about to show you. She leaned down and touched the grass, cupping something in her hands. She thought for a moment and then said, shadows lengthen, the day near done. Birds fly low at setting sun. Stars will rise from earth below. In these hands their light will glow. Come up, lightning, come up, stars. We'll snatch you up in these here jars. She blew into her hands and let something go. It flew for a moment, then landed deep in the grass. We watched and watched, but nothing was happening. Low thunder rumbled just above us. Look, my cousin Billy called out. A small burst of starlight puffed up out of the grass. Then more and more drifted up out of the carpet of the lawn beneath our feet. Fireflies, we all called out. We grabbed the jars, and the dash was on to capture lightning and put it in a jar. Grandma gave me a knowing look and smiled. So, what has the lightning in the jar turned out to be? When everyone had gone home that night, Grandma and I sat on the porch swing together. We looked at the flickering jar, and even though fireflies are common in Michigan on summer nights, never had I seen so many as that night. And as long as I live, I'll believe that somehow Grandma called them up with her stories and her magic. So do you think Grandma called up the fireflies? That night seems so long ago, but the reunion is here again. My family is arriving now. My heart is racing. We'll eat scrumptious jello and meatloaf, play baseball and croquet, spit watermelon seeds, and scrawl new measurements on my milk house door jamb. We'll look at photo albums. We'll laugh at some and cry at others. We'll remember the stories, how Grandma saw the first flying machine and Aunt Iva conquered the rattler. We'll talk about Billy and how he should have been a Detroit Tiger, but gave his life for his country in a war far away. So, what do you now notice about the main character in the story? What do you notice about her now? And who is telling the story? Then, when the sun is low and the shadows long, we'll all sit and fan ourselves in the shade of the maple trees. Only a new crop of children will gather at our knees. My father, my grandmother, my aunts, and uncles are no longer here. So now it is we who must tell their stories and bring them back for fleeting moments. So why aren't Grandma and all the aunts and the uncles no longer here at the family reunion? Then I will show the children the magic that my grandma showed me. I'll call the stars from beneath their feet And as they rise in the warm night air, these children will leap as high as a cow's back to gather them up. I'll send them home with full bellies, tired bones, and flickering jars in their laps. Their hearts will be overflowing, full of lightning, put there by folks who love them even before they were born. Grandma knew this well. She also knew that someday they would tell their children about all of us and of the magic nights when we caught lightning in a jar. So this woman remembers the family reunion from her childhood so well. What do you think made it so special for her? The end. I really enjoyed this book, you guys, and I hope you did too. And remember, you keep right on reading until you see me next time.